Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all of the interwebs. It's around the blockchain, and we come to you Monday through Friday at 5:01 Eastern Standard Time. I'm back from Vegas. It's my first time on camera since Vegas, and a big shout out to all the BitSquad members who came out, and an even bigger shout out to the Pluto Alliance holders. We had our own little mosh pit, our own little after party. It was a good time, but it was a great show. We got some great guests, and we're going to get right into it. On the top right corner, we have good old Mine Your Biz, and it looks like a spooky moonlight in the background. I like it. Very, very, it's setting the mood there. And we also have CryptoKeeper with, I don't know, look, maybe some kryptonite in the bottom right corner. Oh, wait, it's changing to blue. Never mind. I know what that is. That's an LED screen. And we also have Max Wright. We had a little behind-the-scenes issues getting them in, but audio's good. Visuals are good. We had a crazy background for them with the green screen, but then Lucasfilms called, and they said, you know what? You can't use that scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark, so we had to take it down. And, of course, last but not least, we have CryptoBlood. Always love to have him on. People in the chat wondering, where's the cigar? Where's the cigar, Crypto?
I'm in the studio today, the corporate studio, so I can't smoke in the corporate studio.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's it's probably expensive equipment. We can't get smoke in the. Oh no, it's messing up my microchips and all that good stuff. So, all right, before we get, we're going to be talking. We have a new segment, the way we're doing it with the lightning round. But then we're going to be talking. You ready? You ready, Ripple Army? You ready, XRP Army? We're going to be talking about some XRP DeFi stuff happening in the future. Ooh. And what community is bigger? Is it the ADA gang? ADA gang. We got some secret Cardano meetings going down, and I don't know. Maybe the flies on the wall, they're buzzing. That's all we're going to say. But before we get into all that, we're going to check out the Market Watch. Let's check it out. Everybody's favorite segment. That's cool. Talk about those topics. But tell me what my coins are doing is what the people are saying. Will you look at that big, fat, juicy 24-hour gain on Bitcoin? Bitcoin, 66,000, up 5%. Ethereum, up 3%. BNB, they had their crazy run earlier in the week, about a week ago. I mean, you look, they're still up 20%, more than doubling Bitcoin and Ethereum. So don't worry about Binance being in the red slightly, while Bitcoin and Ethereum are in the green. They're just cooling down. The same thing I would say for Solana. They're also up around 20%. So I wouldn't be too concerned that Solana is not following. But look at that, ADA gang. Ada gang, where are you at? Go ahead and hit that like button if you're in here, Ada gang. I see Ada basement waiting for they're waiting for those dot pumps too. The chat was saying, well, dot's up about 2%, so nothing too crazy. Dogecoin, Shiba still continuing to fall. I would say I feel a little bit better about erring on the side of caution with Shiba, and all these other coins doing insane gains, and the fact that they're down 25%. We would like to make sure the BitSquad's making gains. All right, Loop Ring, 62%. KuCoin. J-Chains, I know he's crying in his milk right now. KuCoin shares. Maker, Litecoin. I'm not going to lie. When I see Litecoin pump, when I see Bitcoin Cash pump, I typically get a little bit worried. Oftentimes, when those things pump, other things are going to fall. And it's a lot of times it's the Bitcoin whales. We look at some of the losers. KDA, it was all the talk of the town, still up 125%. Now, Max, I'm going to bring it to you. I mentioned when you see Litecoin pump, you see Bitcoin Cash, you see BSV, you see these things pump, oftentimes it precedes a fall. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, all those ones like an Ethereum Classic, all of those ones that were the forks, right? Generally, whenever there's a fork, it's the one that the smaller market cap of the fork suffers, tends to. And it kind of says something about those markets, those demographics, those people in those worlds. I don't know, like it's really, really consistent that when there's a fork, that the one with the smaller market cap just doesn't have the firepower to keep up with any kind of battle that's going to happen in the future because it just doesn't have the market cap there to compete, right? And so when those ones kind of pump, you're right, it is a little bit like, what's going on here? It's kind of like a Shiba coin or any of these meme coins going. It's like, what's going on? There's not really quite sure what's going on. So it's a little bit of an alarm bell for me too.
Yeah, and those are around here, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. We saw this all the time. The whales, they would put their profit into Bitcoin, and it was almost like clockwork. It would then go to Ethereum. And then, back then we didn't have this robust top 20 market cap like we do today. It would then just go to some of these other forks, as Max was talking about. And then, yeah, they would just kind of keep cycling, and then the fork would pump. Then they'd pull their profits. Then they put it back into Bitcoin, and then back. And you just see the cycle repeat. You're seeing it a little bit less now. But it's still just something, I mean, you still see it a little bit, so maybe just keep it on your radar. But All right, let's get into DZ's first lightning round here. I'm not gonna lie, big shout out to Nick Diamandi. He's taken over the writing, he's taken over the booking, he's doing a very solid job. He's knocking it out of the park. Nick Diamandi is our head writer, so I'm coming in. You know, I came in with fresh eyes around 420. Haha, nice. And I wasn't expecting to see. I wasn't expecting it's 69 seconds, man. I wasn't expecting to see it. When I saw it, I was like, okay, all right, I like it. The lightning round question: Bitcoin, Ethereum bands. If Bitcoin and Ethereum were music groups, who would they be? Mine Your Biz. We'll bring it to you first. If Bitcoin and Ethereum were a music group, who would they be?
Okay, Bitcoin together or separately? We're doing verses, right?
Let's do separate.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so if they were separate, first off, Bitcoin would be Mariah Carey. Why? It would be Mariah Carey because this time of the year, you're basically going to be hearing about it nonstop. You talk to your normie friends, they're like, oh my gosh, I love that song. Can we play it again? It's going to be on the radio everywhere. You're going to be shopping and you'll be like, oh my gosh, all I want for Christmas is this song to stop. That's Bitcoin. And Ethereum is pentatonics. Because like half the dudes are gay, you don't know which ones. They change roster all the time. Plus they build acts on top of it. Hey, it's not a value judgment. I'm just, dude.
Just
don't make it weird. It's 2021.
Yeah.
But and that's the other thing. Pentatonics and Ethereum can both be whatever they want to be, right? That's the beauty of tokenization. So tokenize all the things. Pentatonics half the things.
All right, I love the Christmas reference. They do call Mariah the queen of Christmas. So that's you knocked that one out of the park there, man.
They're not wrong, and Bitcoin's going to be the king of the blow off top too. So I think we're going to see there's high correlation between them.
Man, I love it. Shout out to Drumline. I like all nicks. And on that note, CryptoKeeper, we're bringing to you. If Bitcoin and Ethereum were bands, who would they be?
So first of all, there is something deeply flawed about this question. I'm going to get to it in a second. But Mine Your Biz, dude, that was dope. All right, that was a great response. I feel like my response is nowhere near what it needs to be now. But I mean, if you look over my right shoulder here, Ethereum and Bitcoin have got to be Biggie and Pac, right?
I love it.
So you stole my answer.
The main reason for it, right? And I'm sorry, Blood, but the main reason for it is because they are the OGs, right? And let me go one step further with it. Everyone always wants to talk about when's ETH going to flip Bitcoin? When's ETH going to flip Bitcoin, right? They've got that little thing going on there, right? Well, hey, again, Biggie and Pac. The flawed part of this question is Biggie and Pac, spoiler alert, they're dead, right? And ultimately Bitcoin and Ethereum are never going to die. So that's the flawed part of the question. There it is.
All right. I like that. And we all know where I stand. Biggie is better than Tupac. In my opinion, it's not even close.
You shut your dirty mouth, DZ, right now.
Max Wright, we'll go ahead and bring it to you. Bitcoin and Ethereum were bands. Who would they be?
All right, I'm going to show my age here and talk some musical references that probably your audience has never heard of. But for me, you got to give the tip of the hat to Bitcoin. It's like it's the first, it's the biggest, it's the king. How can it be anybody but other than Elvis, right? For thousands of years, we're playing classical music, and all of a sudden, there's the king shows up and just tips the whole world on its head. And 50 years later, he's still making hits. So I think 2012, Elvis had a song that was top of the charts in Ibiza. I remember jamming out to it.
I was pulling up the chat if you're wondering why there's a little echo there. But all right. There's nothing wrong. There's one thing we learned at the BitSquad that, the BitSquad's all ages. There's literally, little children dressed like they're in the Matrix all the way to the oldest person there was 71 years old. And if you're watching, sir, Mr. Lawyer, sir, from Florida, we appreciate your input and everything. All right, Blood, you had your answer stolen, but I know you have maybe you have a hot take on why I think Biggie's better. I don't know. So we'll go ahead and ask you.
So Bitcoin is Tupac, okay, because he is like the OG. He never dies. It's been said that Bitcoin has died 1,100 times, right? So I think Tupac is definitely Biggie. I mean, Tupac is definitely Bitcoin. But the thing about Ethereum, I think Ethereum is Drake. I would put Ethereum as Drake. Drake is he's all shiny and, he gets the girls that love him and all of that. But at the end of the day, he's a ghostwriter. He doesn't write his own stuff. So I think Ethereum is Drake. Bitcoin is Pac. But I was looking at this hot take as a group. So I thought we were talking about if Bitcoin and Ethereum were together, I would pick Outcast. That's what I would pick.
Okay,
for
Andre, big boy, you know, representing ATL. All right,
Yes,
just before we
sir.
get into CryptoBlood, what's the better album, ATLiens or Equimini?
Oh, ATLiens.
We just can't agree on anything, can we? We
Equimini.
just can't agree on anything, Blood. All right, well, let's go to the second topic here. They're both great albums. They're both 5 out of 5. So that's all I have to say on that. All right, XRP gang,
sure.
where you at? Let's see. I'm not seeing enough XRP in chat. I'm not seeing enough nearly at all. We're not even at 1,000 likes. Ada gang, I guess you weren't here either. XRP Army is smoking you right now. So let's go ahead, smash that like button. We're right around 5,000 people. I know we can get that way above that. So, all right, XRP DeFi. They're branching out. Ripple Labs are starting to branch out. They're going to start offering access to give people the ability to trade and swap into Bitcoin, into Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and ETH Classic. So basically, imagine they're trying to do some of the things you're seeing with exchanges, but almost, let's just be honest with ourselves. It'll be centralized, and you'll be able to swap your XRP with some of these tokens. And presumably, you come in with some Ethereum, you come in with some Bitcoin, and you can go ahead and buy some XRP. I actually hear a lot of people saying, how do I buy XRP? They don't know about, VPNs. They don't know about decentralized exchanges. They might only know Coinbase and Robinhood. So to me, I could see them onboarding a lot of these newer people, especially some of the XRP fans out there. So Nick's trying to set me up with this question. So I'm gonna bring it to you, Biz. This is how Nick set it up. Is a centralized coin like XRP bad for DeFi?
CryptoBlood already knows. He already knows this is not going to end well for anybody involved. So your first mistake was inviting me on.
No, it's not.
But it's okay. I kid. As far as the centralizing effect of having it be, like you mentioned before, realistically, that's how it's going to have to function. The on-demand liquidity that Ripple Labs offers, it sounds really good. By any other name, we would call this some kind of a fund or liquid market that's being created by some investor group, right? We've seen this happen with various different attempts at centralized exchanges that offer really deep pockets for one or another tentpole cryptocurrency. Maybe they've got a particularly heavy bag of Bitcoin or a particularly heavy bag of Ethereum. Maybe they're old school whales from another project. And so they're able to diversify and provide a lot of the liquidity. And I won't call it usury, but realistically, it's like the hard money game, right? When you're outside of this asset class and you get into real estate, you find the same characters that pop up in this space for centralized exchanges, and they wind up making these things possible. I don't see how it's going to be all that much different for Ripple Labs, other than that they're sitting on a treasury that they may be able to use in a more flexible way. That said, if they can make it decentralized, or bare minimum, if they can just kind of use what I'm going to call common sense KYC requirements and common sense AML requirements, because they've already got now a little bit of history and they're setting a little bit of precedent at keeping the SEC back on its heels. If they can just say, you know what, look, everything that you're talking about, IRS, for example, reporting requirements of $600 transactions for every American, this stuff is insane. We can't continue this insanity. If they can start to implement some policies that look more like common sense, then I think there's going to be a huge flight to the security and the common sense of a platform like that. Do I love centralizing forces like this, centralized exchanges and stuff? No. I spend the majority of my time in DEXs and AMMs. But KYC light, we'll call it, centralized exchanges, they still have a place in my playbook too. They're a necessary evil still. So if Ripple Labs can become a relevant player in that space and make sure that KYC doesn't just chop all our heads off over the next 18 months, or in the process of trying to give us a haircut, chop all our heads off. If they can be a better player there, a better actor in that space, I welcome them. That's my take on it. But I don't know if the on-demand liquidity engine is enough.
All the points.
But Blood, I know you got a retort here, and real quick, Aaron, I'm gonna need you to come up here. But yeah, Blood, go ahead. What's your take on that? I know you're taking some umbrage to some of those things, and before we get right into that, I just wanted to address Aaron real quick. If you're going to defecate your shorts.
No, it was BJ.
All right. Well, y'all get it together. I got a peanut gallery in the back of this room, and I'm trying to be professional here because we're
I
talking
felt like
about
it was a good
XRP.
answer, but I didn't know it was that good. Yeah. No, wait till
All right,
Blood
all right.
gives you
Well,
gives you what
Blood,
he's got.
let me ask you this. So we're seeing this massive XRP pump, especially compared to the last couple months. You know, I mean, a lot of people, it's been joked, it's a stable coin. It's turned into a stable coin. What's happening with XRP? So now we're starting to finally see a little bit of price action. Do you think the price action is related to this news?
Dizzy, I'm gonna be the first guest that has a negative point score on this show. Let me tell you.
Oh, we love it.
Because I'm looking at the chat room right now. I'm seeing ADA gang, XRP gang, ADA gang. I don't like neither of them. So if you look at the article you sent us, man, it says in the highlight from Decrypt Media, the service could provide a key new revenue stream apart from selling XRP. That lets you know.
Yeah,
right there,
I saw that
their
line
whole
too.
Revenue stream is selling XRP. Like, come on, man. I just think I'm not down with the XRP gang. I'm gonna be a little more concise than Mine Your Biz. It's to me a very centralized blockchain, if you want to even call it that is looking to really help the banksters, in my opinion. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. So I'm an OG crypto cat. You know, back when I got into crypto, 2013, it was a libertarian movement. We were about being your own bank, you know, having your own keys and all that stuff. So when I see projects like XRP, I don't even pay attention to them, bro. Whether or not I'm gonna make you can make 10x, 100x, whatever. You can keep your money. I'll get it elsewhere.
All right, Keeper, I want to ask you this. So XRP, he kind of brings up their revenue model. You know, the way they make money is they sell XRP, but they are trying to branch out. So they're moving into this new space where there's already competitors, but they seem to make it, you know, they're going to make it XRP centric. Chat, and keep bringing up the KuCoin. Of course, I brought that up, and there's some other examples of some of these BitTrue and some of these other exchanges. Are they trying to copy, you know, like some of the corporate media, or not the media, but like the corporate moves where you see something working by competing companies, so you're just like, you know what, I'm just going to copy that. Do you think they're going to start branching? You know, are we going to see a wallet soon? Are we going to see some, you know, besides the DeFi, besides the exchange? Do you think that XRP is going to continue to branch out?
Yes, I do, for sure. And I'll tell you what, I think it's more of who they're in bed with that we're not seeing, and the kind of decisions that are being made behind the scenes, right? The reality is, just like in, let's just say, our lovely government, right? The people that you are shaking hands with are the people that are making decisions, right? It's all about who you know. And I think that Ripple, being in bed with the banks and these large institutions, sets them up to be that player. It sets them up to be the one that is the good guy / bad guy, depending on which side of that you're looking at it from. And I think they're looking at it for a couple different things. One, revenue. They said, you know, in that article, it literally talked about a revenue stream. XRP has been held up right now, right? As it's got this lawsuit going on. But I think behind the scenes, they already know where this is headed. And I think they're positioning themselves to be able to accelerate their model as they move forward. As they go public, then now all of a sudden that opens them up for other opportunities. I think the other part of it that's interesting would be the flip side of it. What if they are genuinely questioning the traction that they have with the SEC, and they're looking for, oh my gosh, something might go wrong here. We need to have other forms of revenue. But the most interesting part, and I'll finish with this, is that they're talking about getting into DeFi. DeFi is a direct threat to our banking system, which, side note, I freaking love because I hate the banks. But it is a direct threat to that. So I think it's very interesting that they're talking about getting into DeFi. And again, it begs the question, what do they know that we don't? Whose hands are they shaking that we aren't? Because they're making some decisions that would indicate that they're trying to play both sides of the field.
All right, well, you bring up some good points. So Deuce in chat saying XRP is sitting at the table with the central banks. You're bringing up DeFi. Well, maybe these central banks are trying to get some exposure to some of these nice crypto gains that we've been seeing. And someone else in chat, it's Ripple, not XRP. I mean, we're aware. I assume all the guests are as well. We're aware of the difference between XRP and Ripple. Sometimes it's just easier to just use a placeholder name. When we started breaking down, like, well, Ripple Labs made XRP. It's like calling Ethereum, it's technically called Ether, but
Yeah.
you know, you just kind of
Right,
go
right.
with the common lexicon there. All right,
Especially
Max,
for
last
us old
question.
school guys. We were XRP and Ripple was the same thing for us for many, many years. We had struggling
Don't
to keep up
harp
here.
on us. All right, so Max,
Exactly.
last question here. So
Yeah, so hang on a second.
Go
Just
ahead.
before we get to this XRP thing, I think is a big, massive fail on the part of XRP.
Ooh.
And Mine Your Biz, the chances of this being a KYC light is precisely zero.
Zero.
There is no chance whatsoever of this happening.
Yeah.
Right? There is
I'm
no
not holding my
chance.
breath.
This is a big, big epic fail from XRP, wasting their time. For starters, they're a day late and a dollar short. On the retail front, they're trying to do what Shapeshift did 5 years ago. So they're 5 years late to the party. Last year, Shapeshift walked away from this business model because it sucked, and they went ahead and just became an interface to the actual world of DeFi, which is the exciting part, and it's basically here.
Yeah.
It's like we're in the middle of it, absolutely exploding, including the cross-chain stuff like ThorChain. So XRP, this is like a huge fail for me, absolute failure. Sorry, back to you, DZ.
Or go ahead. Who is the? I mean, you're talking about, you know, some of these things are complicated. You know, the DeFi stuff that gets complicated, but at the same time, you know, well, who's the target audience here? Is this for new people to like onboard, similar to a Coinbase, similar to a Robinhood, or is this for some of the people who are like deeper in the ecosystem who, you know, like staking and like DeFi plays?
So they went both ways, and they went both institutional. Like on the institutional front, they're just another hashtag Me Too. They're just another exchange. And to begin with, they're not even doing the over-the-counter stuff themselves. They're just tapping into Coinbase's, Kraken's, Binance's over-the-counter, and they're just a front for it to try and help them keep customers, so they're not hemorrhaging customers when people want to go out and do other more interesting coins. So that was on the institutional front. On the retail front, like I said, they're just Shapeshift 5 years ago, which Shapeshift doesn't even want to be anymore. So it just makes no sense to me whatsoever.
And
playing
Max, just to
middleman.
be clear for chat, when he says Shapeshift, he doesn't mean Kurt Wagner, aka Nightcrawler, the X-Man. He's never mind. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm
That
talking
was
about
for
Eric
like
Voorhees here.
my 8 nerds. That was for the basement. Okay, that was for the basement. All right, well, let's go to the last topic here. Secret Cardano meetings. I love Nightcrawler, by the way. It's one of my favorite ones. But yeah, we're talking about Charles Hoskinson. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure at some point this telecast, BJ will have a picture of him with the Falcon. I know he's been gone for a while. Usually he's like right on it. But so Charles, he's meeting people from Zanzibar. This isn't, I thought it was just like a fake place from a Tenacious D song, but no, it's in Tanzania, or I think I'm saying that right. And he's meeting with the officials to adopt Cardano into the country. And he wants it to become the backbone of some of these serious industries, like the telecom and the institutional infrastructure with the internet, everything else. But God, Nick, you set me up. All right, Nick set me up, man. You set me up here. So I'm gonna ask you, Keeper here. We'll bring it back and we'll go around the blockchain there. Is he in over his head trying to meet with all of these leaders in this continent? I mean, he's going from the southern tip to the top. It's one of the largest continents in the world, if not the largest continent in the world. And I mean, is it too much at once when, you know, he famously tweeted a little over a year ago, there'd be 10,000 dApps out and fully running on Cardano. And, you know, that just to be, you know, that isn't the case. That isn't what happened. So is he moving too quickly, too fast, or does he know what he's doing?
You know what? I like to hope that he knows what he's doing. He seems to be very calculated. Over the years, we have seen one thing from him, and that he has a game plan, and the timing of everything that Cardano does seems to have some sort of a reason behind it. Now, that being said, Africa is an opportunity, right? It is a place where they currently, in a number of different places, are using cell phone minutes as currency. If that is the case, if that indeed is the case, which, by the way, I almost think that cell phone minutes are better than our, you know, fiat dollar we've got over here printing like, you know, like wildfire. But I think that he looks at Africa and says, look, he has a personal mission to bank the unbanked. He has a personal mission to bring, we'll call it the future, to places that are not currently up to par with some of our technological advances, you know, the rest of around the world. And on top of that, the opportunity is there. There's just not enough going on over there, and they need the help. So I don't think that he's, quote, over his head. I think he's got a game plan for all of it. And I think that a big part of this, too, is the philanthropist in him also at the same time, it has a little bit of narcissism, right? And wants to be in the headlines at all times and look like, Mr. I'm going to save the world. So,
all right. Well, okay. Now, Blood, why do you think these meetings are being held in secret? I mean, is this saying, is this a bad sign?
I don't know, DZ. I just got a question. Like, how many DApps are running on Cardano right now? I'm out of curiosity. Does anyone know?
It's not 10,000. It is less than 10,000.
Is it one? Is it one?
No, DJ, we have a Cardano expert running the board right now.
Okay,
he's done his own taking notes and everything. His crickets from his end. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, right. I actually like Charles Hoskinson. I met him last year out in Wyoming. I was out in Wyoming for a political event, and I heard him speak, bro. And the guy is smart, like beyond. It's just on another level, and he has a lot of poignant, things that he wants and that he talked about and he wants to do from a philanthropy standpoint. And I respect him for that. I think he's putting the cart before the horse. Build the infrastructure, build the blockchain first, then do these ambitious things in these various countries. We need that. I love him as a person, as from afar. I don't know him personally, but I think he is a great and smart guy and a visionary. But work on that blockchain, bro. Work on that blockchain.
That's a pretty good quote. I did want to share this quote from Deuce in the basement. Max Wright is Max wrong. How many times have you heard that when you say something bad about Ripple?
Believe it or not, that's the first.
Okay. All right.
I've certainly been wrong before, but I've never heard it.
Blood brings up a point, is Charles putting the cart before the horse? Is he being a little bit too ambitious too quickly? Is this strategy going to pay off and he knows something we don't know? What's your thoughts?
Sorry, who you talking to?
Max.
Okay, so look, what do you do? What do you do when you're one of these chains? You've got to compete for eyeballs. You've got to get the word out. You've got to do stuff. So what are you going to do? I mean, he sees El Salvador work there and the Strike app and the Lightning Network. And it's like, I know, okay, going dealing with big, massive bureaucracies and whatever else in these other countries is very, very hard. What's the smallest, most trivial, tiny, minute thing that I can find where I can go and get an audience in front of? And it's this autonomous zone, Zanzibar, which, for those of you who don't know, it's kind of like what Hong Kong was to China. It's just this separate little island, but, it's of this tiny little Tanzania. Like, there's probably, I don't even know what the population there, but we're talking in the thousands maybe. And so to get an audience there is just no big deal. If you get some traction there, who cares? But, you said, is it secret? I mean, they tweeted about it. How secret is it? It's just putting it in the headline. So it's all just like getting the information out there. But I feel the pain. Like, if I was Charles and like, I've got Cardano, I've got no problem with Charles, great project, great guy, but you got to do stuff to just get the word out there and just get in the headlines. And so secret this and government that, and really what this amounts to is very, very little in my opinion.
The YouTube chat, they threw out some examples of some of the things Cardano is doing. One of the things I just had to point out, they pointed out Cody. You know what you buy Cody with? Ethereum. All right, so last question here. Mine Your Biz. We'll give you a chance here to, I'm sorry, Cardano people. I love Cardano. Charles Hoskinson is a great guy. I saw him in Miami. I didn't talk to him, but he's definitely a bright guy, and what he's doing, I think, is great for crypto. I just want to make that clear. We're not heartless people. Same goes for XRP. I like what they're doing as far as they're onboarding new people and they're getting people excited about crypto. And I think at the end of the day, that's all something we can agree is a good thing. But now Mind Your Biz. You see spec mining. You see what you're in touch with the prices. You see what's going up. You see hash rate and everything else. But is Cardano falling behind these other cryptos, or is it just coming in late to the party, as I like to say?
Yeah, falling behind would indicate that they already have a working product that is at pace with the others. They've never even kept pace with the others. And like you mentioned before, a year ago, the promises were there'd be 10,000 dApps or 10,000 apps or 10,000 somethings running on top. And I mean, I think maybe we'd be lucky to measure, more than 10,000 unique active wallets right now. For most cryptocurrencies, straight up, even with Bitcoin, right? We talk about millions of wallet addresses being provisioned and having had one transfer, but daily active use, we're not seeing it. So I think on the one hand, we did just kind of all gang up on this one. I'm going to be beating a dead horse here because the gentleman who went before put it so well and so concisely. But I'm going to agree with CryptoBlood in that I've got nothing personally against Charles Hoskinson. He's doing a phenomenal job as a CEO, a phenomenal job at maintaining excitement, both from his team and from the investor group, right? They haven't given up on him. So he's done his job 110%. As far as the real prospect of like this news coming out of Zanzibar, like Max Wright said, I'm sorry, but Tanzania, the broader country, is owned in full by M-Pesa, Vodafone. They run the place. It's red ocean. Don't go there. Like, really, pivot. Danger, Will Robinson. Like, turn back if you can. There are other places you can go. You can get adoption. Right now, Vodafone, through their product M-Pesa, like CryptoKeeper was saying, it's functionally just trading cell phone minutes. But guess what? I'm going to say something that might rub some salt into all of our crypto viewers. Every one of these guys has something called an IMEI and an IMSI. The supply chain is unique. It's very, very hard to spoof. So services like M-Pesa on Vodafone, they're not messing up people's orders. They're not messing up people's money, regardless of the fact that it's cell phone minutes. But even at that, you got an underlying store of value in the cell phone minutes. 1 minute is 1 minute is 1 minute. It's an immutable store of value. Yep. We all get 24 hours in a day. So I think they're actually kind of onto something. And there's a reason that they haven't stopped using it for the last 17 years. They predate Bitcoin by half a decade, right? So I don't think that Charles is doing the right thing by trying to, air quotes, gain market share in that area of the world. Look, they've been slow to even adopt like Lightning Network on Bitcoin. So I don't think there's a lot of upside in this particular marketing campaign.
Yeah, you bring up a good thing with the phone minutes. One of the takeaways when Akon was in the studio, he said the main reason I wanted to, fix these currency issues that these countries are having, they're trading phone minutes as money because their money inflation is that bad. You're literally trading phone minutes. It'd be like
are we going to talk about
time is money.
Our
time is money.
Time
is money. A minute is money.
Are we literally going to sit here and just ignore the fact that we are just like printing money at just the most breakneck speed?
Yeah. I'm not saying our currency is something to envy, but at the same time,
that's the thing.
It's not as bad as some of these other countries.
I think we all are pretty much on the same page when it comes to this subject. But the thing is, that doesn't mean these coins won't go up. They won't go higher. They most likely will, and it's to CryptoKeeper's point, this inflation, the monetary policy that we have globally from these central banks are going to cause all these assets to go up. So you can hate us, love us, it doesn't matter. We know the coins are going to go higher. Boo-hoo.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is all we actually have time for today. I was almost hoping for a tie so I could do the tiebreaker based on your answers on who would be a band or what band would Bitcoin and Ethereum be. But Mine Your Biz, he got it there at the end. And bird, bees, and trees, they're saying Zanzibar's population is 1.5 million. Yeah, it's about the same size as Orange County. So, yeah, I mean, we're not talking about, very small places. These places do have, millions of residents. But Mine Your Biz, you won. You had a great answer with the lightning round, especially. So we'll go ahead and give you 30 seconds. Leave us with some parting thoughts.
Well, thank you, guys. First off, I want to just pay homage to my co-workers here, right? We all work the same field. Basically, we're trying to make sure that people are educated, making smart decisions. And we've got counterpoint. If we all thought and talked the same, why would you tune into us? You need to get different sources. So first off, I want to make sure that everybody watching subs to everybody else who's been on screen. But obviously, come sub at sub.myb.lol. That's my channel. But please, the fine gentlemen who are on stage, please make sure you follow them. There's a great diversity of thought and opinion here.
All right. And great way to sum it up. Let's get out our own bubbles every now and then. You got to get out of your own bubbles. Every now and then, I'll read how NFTs are a scam just so I can laugh. And I'm sure you're thinking the same thing, XRP Army and Ada Gang. But that is all we got time for today. I will be hosting tomorrow. And until then, see you next time, BitSquad. Easy out.